What's up? What's up? My Coach Funday back at it again. You know what I'm saying? Up here giving y'all this history, this up to date history, African history, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Hey, subscribe to the channel, and thankful. You know what I'm saying? Much love. Thank my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? For giving me the knowledge and strength and wisdom and understanding to do this. You know what I'm saying? Now, many people talk about the Chinese and Africa and how Africa's being raped by foreign development, which is true. But many people don't know all the players in that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to break down one of the players that's not really talked about, Putin and the Russians. You know what I'm saying? Not many people know this because they're not really keeping up on what's going on up in there, especially in the Central African Republic, which is Wakanda unto itself. It's so much minerals and gold and diamonds and all type of stuff there. And the sad part about it is, from my knowledge, is the Africans there are fighting over Christianity and Islam. Excuse me about that. And they're fighting over Christianity and Islam. So, it's kind of sad about that. We got to this level. So, anywho, we're going to make this stuff happen. Let me go ahead and just read it to you. This from the AP. This from Recruiters. Russia not helping stabilize Central African Republic. So says the French, who's also, that's the main language of the Central African Republic, is French. Paris. Russia's expanding influence in the Central African Republic, or CAR, a former French colony, over the past months is not likely to stabilize the country, French Defense Minister Florence Parly told Jean Afrique. In December of 2017, Russia obtained the go-ahead from the United Nations Security Council, right? In December 2017, Russia obtained the go-ahead from the United Nations Security Council to deliver arms to CAR, facing a near constant armed conflict since 2013. Mostly a Muslim Shia rebellion coalition overthrew then President Francois Bozize from attempting reprisals from Christian anti-Baka militias. Despite the elected new leader in 2016, the country has been mired in a tit-for-tat, intercommunal violence, and political instability. Earlier this year, Russia donated hundreds of weapons and sent 175 trainers to CAR to bolster the government fight against the militia groups. And last week, it said it planned to send more additional equipment and employ more instructors, escalating its most significant military foray in Africa in decades. As Russia's growing influence in CAR was opposing threat to French influence, Parly said, "I will not speak of French interests, but of Central African interests." Now, let's pause right here with what the defense minister of France said. You know what I'm saying? If you're not the minister of defense minister of the Central African Republic, then why the fuck is you speaking into it? Because France has vested interest in there, and they're not gonna fuck with the Russians on that. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else he said. Africa belongs to Africa and no one else. No more than the Russians than the French, she says. Russia has asserted its presence in the Central African Republic in recent months. It is true, but I'm not sure that this presence and the actions deployed by Moscow, like the agreements negotiated at Khartoum at the end of August, helped to stabilize the country, she said. Russia's foreign ministry has defended its actions by what it says is a certain jealousy by other powers of Russia's role in CAR. Central African armed groups signed a preliminary agreement at the end of August in Khartoum under the aegis of Russia and the Sudan, while the African Union, supported by Paris, was overseeing a post-crisis negotiation. Now, let's quick pause on this right quick. What the hell is the African Union good for? How you gonna let some foreigners come in your backyard and tell you to negotiate and do all this stuff like that? We gotta really start looking and deeply start checking stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Because, just like here in the United States with other cats I was telling about, the black leadership, the so-called black leadership, is white-footed and brought off. They still gonna push white issues. As you see one group, I'm gonna read it again, Central African armed group signed a preliminary agreement at the end of August in Khartoum under the aegis of Russia and Sudan. While on the other side, the African Union, supported by Paris, was overseeing post-crisis negotiation. France has a military presence in CAR, mainly within the UN peacekeeping force mission known as MINUSCA, whatever. And I guess that's the end of the story. You know what I'm saying? So that should tell you something right there. The French got a military there. It's a good video on YouTube if you ever get a chance to watch it. I might have to post it on here on my video page about what's going on in Central African Republic. It's so much gold, diamonds. I mean, you could just walk around and just kick over diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. John Henry Clark said, gold, oil, the stuff that you use to cell phones, for your smartphones and stuff like that. It's stuff they find in there they don't even know. So the Russians are supplying these caches, and the African Union, supported by Paris, is doing their own thing. But if you never heard of once during this time, you never really heard of a black leader. Let's see, maybe I might have skipped over it. Let's see, they said despite electing a new leader, in 2016, we don't know who that leader is. You know what I'm saying? And the Muslims overthrew, primary reprisal for Christians. So we got to focus up on what we going to do. You know what I'm saying? If Africa belongs to Africans and no one else, then the French and the Russian and the Chinese need to get the fuck out. And that's the only way we going to do it. The only way people going to pull themselves up by the bootstraps is doing it by themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way it's going to happen. You got to do for self. Anyway, much love. Iskosi Umfundisi showing it. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to my people on Black Junction TV. Much love to them. Why they doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the just everybody that's just showing me love on the station, and my ancestors and my elders. Y'all have a wonderful one.